To celebrate the 79th commencement ceremony, please direct your attention skyward toward Mount Timpanogos as we welcome aircraft from the Utah Valley University School of Aviation Sciences. The aircraft will fly toward the campus in sequence from the north before making a westerly turn toward Utah Lake. Tonight's flyover features our modern training aircraft, the Diamond DA-40 and Piper PA-44. Painted in striking UVU colors, complete with the Wolverine mascot, these aircraft are flown by alumni and staff and are the very same aircraft used to train and educate hundreds of UVU students. With thousands of UVU aviation alumni spread throughout the country, there's a good chance you've taken a flight piloted by a UVU graduate.
Hello, Utah Valley University graduates, class of 2020. I am Governor Gary Herbert, and I am honored to offer my congratulations to each of you. You've crossed the finish line, and have done so during a difficult and unprecedented time. While some celebrations may be on hold, greater celebrations are yet to come. Your Utah Valley University degree will bless you, your family, your community, and this great state of Utah. Knowing the Wolverine spirit of grit, determination, and success as I do, I am confident you will play a big part in our progress as a state and even throughout our country and the world. Personally, I am proud to have so many Wolverines as citizens of our state and as my neighbors. Thank you for all you do to contribute in making Utah such a great place. As we continue to work and strive together, I have every confidence that Utah will continue to be the best place in America to live, to work, and to raise a family. May today's success be the beginning of tomorrow's achievements. Thank you, and good luck.
Graduates and guests, welcome to Utah Valley University, home of the mighty Wolverines. Welcome to Commencement 2020. Please welcome your president, Dr. Astrid S. Tuminez.
Good evening. Thank you for being with us for this unique commencement during unprecedented circumstances. COVID-19 has taken away quite a few opportunities this year. Notwithstanding, we were determined that this ceremony, honoring the class of 2020, would not be lost. In the spirit of Utah Valley University, we have chosen to persist, to innovate, and celebrate. We begin with a time-honored commencement tradition. We welcome UVU Faculty Senate President Arendt, who will set the ceremonial mace. Professor Arendt.
I declare these proceedings of the 79th commencement of Utah Valley University now in session. Those who feel they are safely distanced may step from their vehicle to rise for the national anthem. All others are invited to honor the flag within their vehicles. The Star-Spangled Banner will be performed by Carlie Beckert, a graduating senior from the School of the Arts.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, with so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Dr. Arendt and Carlie. It is symbolic that we begin this commencement celebration with both our faculty leadership and a graduating student. It is in part because of the relationships each of you has forged with our exceptional educators during your years at UVU that you have reached this mighty milestone tonight. Tonight, we celebrate the grit and determination of the largest graduating class in the history of this university, 6,410 graduates. Woo! We also recognize the 1,638 graduates who are graduating this fall 2020 semester. Honk some more, please. We gratefully acknowledge our distinguished guests who are with us this evening. Graduates and friends, please hold your horns until we have recognized everyone who is here tonight to honor you. We acknowledge and welcome our honorary degree recipients, Daniel W. Campbell, Gail Miller, and Dave Ulrich, as well as members of the Utah Board of Higher Education, Commissioner Dave Wollston-Hume, Jeslie Barlow Anderson, Arthur E. Newell, Aaron Osmond, and Student Regent Candice Damron, who we are proud to say is also a mighty Wolverine. We would also like to recognize members of our Board of Trustees, Chair Duff Thompson, Vice Chair James Clark, Second Vice Chair Jill Taylor, Secretary to the Board Clark Collings, Karen Acerson, 2020-2021 Student Body President Danielle Corbett, Elaine Dalton, Drew Huffaker, Rick Nielsen, Scott Smith, and Paul Thompson. We are also grateful for the participation of Vice Presidents and other members of the President's Cabinet, Deans, and Staff Representative Becca Grulich, President of PACE, or the Professional Association of Campus Employees. Please honk your horn now. Thank you. We are here to honor the culmination of an educational journey. Each of our graduates invested in their ambitions, their dreams, and their futures. As freshmen, they took that first step that led them to where they are today. The class of 2020 arrived from 28 counties of Utah, all 50 states, and 40 nations. The youngest is just 16 years old, and the oldest is 75 years young. Here's another incredible statistic. 2,893 graduates are first in their families to graduate from college. They are highly diverse in backgrounds and interests. All share a common history of hard work, tenacity, persistence, and the achievement of their goals. Tonight, we honor each student's remarkable accomplishment. We also acknowledge those who supported and encouraged all of you as you found your paths. Graduates, please take a moment to look around you. Recognize the friends, family members, faculty, and staff who have assisted you in this educational journey. Please make some noise. College is a memorable period of great growth and discovery, academically, personally, and socially, as we forge enduring friendships. Let's now take a moment to look back at what it means to be a mighty Wolverine. Graduates, I hope that you will always fondly remember your green roots, the experiences that you had at UVU, what you learned here, the friends you made, and how all these things have shaped you and your life. You now have the opportunity to shape your future and ours. It is now my pleasure to invite Duff Thompson, Chair of the University's Board of Trustees, to confer our honorary degrees. Chair Thompson.
Congratulations, graduates. This is a wonderful night. Each year on this special occasion, Utah Valley University confers honorary doctoral degrees upon men and women who've made profound and enduring contributions to scholarship, culture, and who have improved the quality of life in society at large. Their service is of such high order and significance as to warrant this acknowledgement. It is the highest honor bestowed by the university. On behalf of the university's Board of Trustees, I will provide a brief introduction of the esteemed individuals who have earned this prestigious recognition. As necessitated by COVID-19, they've already received their doctoral hood and official citation earlier this evening. I should note that for more information on these exceptional individuals and to read their citations, please refer to the link in your programs. Our first recipient to receive an honorary degree tonight is an exceptional individual who is notable for many reasons, but we recognize him as a longtime advocate for higher education in Utah. He served as chairman of Utah Valley University's Board of Trustees and as chair and vice chair of the Utah State Board of Regents, which at that time was the governing body of the Utah system of higher education. Daniel W. Campbell has earned an honorary doctorate of humane letters.
You know, I have been asked, why have you spent basically 20 years in higher education? But I really feel that higher education is the key to helping our communities. I think that educated people, not just in their discipline, but in their terms of being better citizens, accepting that responsibility, working together as teams and as communities, we result in a better and closer knit community.
My dad is he is very intellectual. He loves a good conversation. He loves to debate. He's never just sitting back letting things happen. He's always engaged in what's going on, engaged in the conversation, and always thinking.
The most extraordinary thing about Dan is just raw IQ. He just is sees things before other people sees things, is always one paragraph ahead in the conversation when we're talking about things that matter. At the same time, he's got off-the-chart people skills. Everyone loves to be with him. He is concerned about people around them and loves them, and they know that too.
Dan is not a man that attracts a lot of attention to himself, but don't let that deceive you. This is a powerful guy, and he makes things happen, and he does it in the most unassuming, non-threatening kinds of ways. It's really a remarkable gift of his. And he was an early adopter of UVU. He didn't need another project in his life, but he saw something in UVU and could see where it was going, could see its importance, and so I think that was part of Dan's power, is he was a true believer, and early on, and he just went to work.
Those who are receiving degrees and certificates today have been committed to this. They set it as a goal and they've worked hard, so congratulations to them. But I hope they're not done. I mean, I hope that they will look at being lifelong learners. Those are 9,000 people who are now in a position to uplift our entire community.
Please welcome honorary degree recipient Dan Campbell.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Dan. Our second honorary degree recipient is a university professor, author, speaker, coach, and noted management consultant. He has written more than 30 books and transformed the field of human resources globally in both theory and practice. David O. Ulrich has earned an honorary doctorate of letters.
I do organizational behavior, organizational anthropology. I'm a professor at the University of Michigan at the Ross School of Business. And then I write and I do consulting. But my passion is to look at organizations and see how they work.
One of the things that was most remarkable to me about Dave is his work ethic. That was one of the things that just astounded me about him when I first met him, but I didn't really realize just how deep it went. He graduated from BYU in 5 semesters, summa cum laude, which is kind of crazy. He's just got this crazy ability to get a lot done in a short amount of time.
Dave's tombstone is going to be etched, ideas with impact. And so what drives Dave, in my mind, is this search to ask the right questions that around big issues and look where others haven't looked.
Dave Ulrich is making a huge difference in his input to both my leadership and the leadership of my team. He is the kind of person who is really good at, synthesizing the issues and then reframing them and giving them back to me and my leadership team and saying, is this what you're worried about? Are these the options that you have? Dave introduces a clarity of thinking to me and the team. He also brings to us a lot of insight on what he's seen out there in this multitudinous universe of experience that he has.
The class of 2020 is one of the most remarkable classes in this university's history. We're in the middle of a global pandemic, racial strife that we've not seen in decades, and an economic uncertainty. This class, if we've learned from those things, has the ability to harness that uncertainty, to not be threatened by change, but to discover opportunity. UVU is a remarkable place. The heritage of this university, from a technical school to a college to a university, it is an absolutely incredible place. You came as you were, and you'll leave as you can become.
Please welcome honorary degree recipient Dave Ulrich.
Congratulations, Dave. Our final honorary degree recipient is well known to Utah as a business leader, philanthropist, community activist, owner of the Utah Jazz, and the team's greatest fan. She is also a passionate proponent of education and a wonderful friend to Utah Valley University. Gail Miller has earned an honorary doctorate of business.
Gail Miller is the owner and chair of the Larry H. Miller Group of Companies, which is comprised of more than 80 businesses, including more than 60 automotive dealerships, the Utah Jazz, Salt Lake Bees, Salt Lake City Stars, Vivint Smart Home Arena, movie theaters, and other enterprises. She was born and raised in Utah. Her very humble upbringing fostered industriousness, confidence in her abilities, and a determination to develop her talents and create a better life. It now influences her decisions to make the lives of others better. The Miller family has created a strong legacy of giving back to the communities in which they do business. The Larry H. Miller Education Foundation has provided scholarships to more than 4,000 students, and the Larry H. Miller and Gail Miller Family Foundation, which Gail presides over, supports a wide range of charitable, educational, and humanitarian causes, including the Gail Miller Resource Center, which provides a safe, warm, and welcoming environment to homeless men, women, and families, and the resources to help them take the next step. As a member of various boards and organizations, Gail also works to advance health and education issues. She continues to serve by example. Those who know her best say she is a leader, but she's also a teacher at heart. They say Gail shares everything she knows with everyone she loves, and that's everyone.
Please welcome honorary degree recipient Gail Miller.
Thank you, Chair Thompson, and congratulations to our honorary degree recipients. We are honored to have you add Wolverine to your many titles. Graduates, you will note that Gail's advice to you tonight was not included in her introduction video. That's because we are also honored to have her as our keynote speaker for this commencement. When I asked Gail to speak last winter, we were living in a totally different world. Since then, more than 1 billion students globally have been forced out of school by a virus that is invisible to the naked eye. Our students, including you, our graduates, returned to campus virtually after spring break to complete your education online. The pandemic has impacted everyone and everything, including businesses and sports teams, and yet through it all, Gail Miller has remained supportive of our graduates, remained committed to honoring you, and celebrating the accomplishments of the class of 2020. I would like personally to thank Gail for being with us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Gail Miller.
Thank you very much. Honorable President Tuminez, distinguished faculty and staff, community members, proud parents, and family, and most especially honored graduates, it's a privilege to be with you this evening. Thank you for the opportunity to address you on this most important occasion. Utah Valley University, I commend you for your heroic efforts in putting together this tonight's special event to celebrate these noble graduates and their well-deserved achievements. I'm so glad we can finally be together. While no one could have predicted the life-altering events that happened in late February and early March, we also didn't recognize the strength, the wisdom, and tenacity that we would deploy not only to cope, but to also thrive. Your accomplishments are a testament to that effort. Well done, you've made it. Yes, the year 2020 is definitely one for the history books. It's been frustrating, surreal, life-altering, educational, and yes, even inspiring. But you will always remember your graduation year because of the unusual challenges you've faced. In addition to school, throw in a pandemic, social justice issues, economic challenges, and a lot more. But remember too, so far, you have adjusted, persevered, and triumphed. It's been quite a year, and it's not over yet. This is the pattern of real life. Challenges fill our present, make us long for the past, and help shape our future. How you decide to apply the lessons you've learned with the toolboxes you've assembled here will drive your successes. I have a quote from Leslie Dwight that I'd like to share with you. I find it very enlightening. It goes like this: What if 2020 isn't canceled? What if 2020 is the year we've been waiting for? A year so uncomfortable, so painful, so scary, so raw, that it finally forces us to grow. A year that screams so loud, finally awakening us from our ignorant slumber. A year we finally accept the need for change, declare change, work for change, become the change. A year we finally band together instead of pushing each other further apart. 2020 isn't canceled, but rather the most important year of all. Yes, 2020 might be the most important year we've faced yet, the one that we have been waiting for, the year that we make permanent changes. This will be the year that we build bridges. Life will continue to ask a lot of your generation. You will be responsible for quality changes that are needed at this time in history. Every generation is remembered for their particular contribution to the world and what they did to advance the cause of mankind. Now your job is to take the baton and move that cause forward, making the world an even better place for the next generation and taking your place in history. I believe that you will find that the quality of your life will be in direct proportion to the quality of the decisions that you make. I would like to share some lessons that I've learned during my life that might be beneficial to you. I'm going to focus on just 4 points. First, listen and learn. I've always been committed to the importance of education. I love learning. I wish I'd had a formal education, but I didn't have that opportunity. My education was earned the hard way, on the job, mostly as a wife and mother navigating life's experiences one day at a time. And then at 65 years old, when most people are retiring, I stepped into a business role and began serving where I could in community to make a difference. I hired a professional coach who helped me channel my untapped courage so that I could face these new adventures with confidence. During this time, I read a lot of books, I attended a lot of meetings, and I asked a lot of questions. And look where I am today, here at UVU getting an honorary doctorate degree. Thank you. Although you've filled all the requirements to graduate from college, I want to emphasize that your education doesn't end here. In reality, it's just beginning. UVU has opened your mind to new ideas and innovations and stretched your imagination. With this education, you will be called on to offer solutions to public policy and social challenges. You'll be able to create a wonderful career and drive your own success. UVU has opened your mind to new ideas and innovations and stretched your imagination. With this education, you're going to find solutions to public policy and social changes, and you will create a wonderful career. What you need to remember is that the rest of your life is an educational journey, and there won't be a finite point in time when you'll be able to say you're finished learning. Even at 87, Michelangelo said, "I am still learning." As we've all experienced in 2020, we are battling a new pandemic with more questions than answers. We're listening and learning about social justice and the opportunity to create needed change. And we're embarking on the fourth industrial revolution, worldwide digitization. And we are becoming better stewards of our planet. It's important that you continue to listen, to question, to learn, and then to act. As Albert Einstein said, the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. I want you to remember that it's important to learn something new every single day, and then teach what you know to people around you to make the world better. Be a student, be a teacher, and be a leader. My second point is courage versus fear. Even though I grew up in a very poor family, I had a delightful and loving childhood. After graduation from high school, I attended 1/4 of college at the University of Utah, and then I had to drop out to help support my mother and siblings because my father had a life-threatening stroke. After he passed away, my mother enrolled in college 43 years after she graduated from high school. Was it scary for her? You bet it was. But she finished at the age of 61 and was awarded her nursing degree from BYU. Thank you. Her example taught me the value of overcoming fear and embracing courage. And then my husband, who was an entrepreneur, took risks and created a successful business while I raised our 5 children. Together we worked hard, we used our money wisely, and we established a habit of giving back when and where we could. After 44 years of marriage, he passed away. His death then left me with a very difficult decision. Should I sell our business, or should I roll up my sleeves and step into his role? Our business was then and is still a platform to enrich lives, to provide good jobs and opportunities for our employees. And we like to provide memorable experiences for our customers. And we work hard to make our communities better. Wanting to continue that legacy, I decided that I would take a deep breath, gather up my courage, and take on a new role. I had learned a lot from Larry over the years, and I'd been involved in nearly all the decisions, but I had never actually held a job in our company, let alone run a business. Would I have the credibility to do what I felt I needed to do? Would I be accepted? Well, it was courage that allowed me to believe that I could do anything I put my mind to. I was smart, and what I didn't know, I felt I could learn. I knew how to work hard, and I was blessed with common sense. I've been in this new role now for 11 years, and our company is still thriving and still growing. And I've learned that if you let it, courage will always triumph over fear. Roy T. Bennett said, real change is difficult at the beginning, which I found, but gorgeous at the end, which I hope I'm not at yet. But change begins the moment you get the courage and step outside your comfort zone. Change begins at the end of your comfort zone, end quote. And Walt Disney said, all of your dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. My third point is respect. No one wins when respect goes away. Whether you're competing on a basketball court, debating public policy, or solving some of the most complicated societal issues, it's okay to disagree if you do it without being disagreeable. Debate and differences of opinion are healthy and even helpful. They're even encouraged. What we can't ever afford to support is racism, hate speech, intolerance, or bullying. When we look at others, thank you. Thank you. When we look at others as individuals worthy of our time and respect, then we'll have the opportunity and the ability to influence others, to inspire change, and to innovate. Now, last year, the Utah Jazz launched the Lead Together campaign to help unite our communities, especially sports teams and fans, in practicing sportsmanship, respect, and kindness. I'd like you to remember that competitors are not enemies. Competition gives us the opportunity to showcase our talents, to achieve something we never thought possible. I'd like to encourage you to channel your courage and use your voices to speak up and speak out. When you see something wrong, say something. Become an ally. Insist on better behavior. Use your platform and your sphere of influence to emulate the change that you hope to see. It will be time well spent. My fourth point is service. Over the course of my lifetime, I have learned that serving others is essential to true happiness. As an unexpected reward, I've also found that whenever I've served someone, I've learned to love them. For most of your life up to now, and it's natural, I'd wager to say that you've been mainly focused on yourself. As a child, you were absorbed with friends and toys and overcoming daily boredom. As a teenager, your life was generally about being liked and attracting the most popular date. As a young adult, you were most likely absorbed in your education and social activities, and then you worried about how to get that coveted job after graduation. And now here you are at the crossroads of a grown-up world. This is where you transition from that self-absorbed world and look outward and realize that there are rewards waiting for you when you put your wants and needs on the back burner and focus on the wants and needs of other people. Focus on how you can make your family, your city, your state, or even the world a better place through your efforts and your service. There are many kinds of service. If you have a serving heart, you will never lack for opportunities to serve. But if you're not familiar with serving, start small and build up to greater opportunities. Right now, our nation is focused on social justice, equality, fairness, and inclusion. In order to break through the systemic issues, our efforts and commitments must be sustainable. Now is the time to step out of yourselves and work to serve others. This is your time. This is your turn. A lot of people have built a lot of bridges for you along your way so you could reach your goal and achieve your success. Those that you're feeling today, and they're important. It's okay to take time to bask in your accomplishments, to enjoy the rewards of your journey, but don't get stuck languishing there. There's a whole new world ahead of you. You have places to go, things to see, and work to do. The work of building bridges for a better world. Bridges for others who will follow in your path and build on your successes. Each new generation has that same responsibility. And as a college graduate, you have the tools to improve on the work of the last generation. I'd like to conclude by reminding all of you that you don't need to wait for somebody to ask you to get engaged or to tell you to step up. You can make that decision on your own, and I hope you will. Your education at UVU has provided you a springboard, a launching point, a bridge to the future. So engage in continual learning. Conduct your life with respect. Exercise your courage. Be kind towards others and be service-oriented. And as you do, I believe you will find that you will soar. God bless you, and congratulations, graduates of 2020.
Thank you so much, Gail, for inspiring us with your words of wisdom and your message of hope, as well as responsibility. Our community is much stronger because of the bridges that you have personally built. You are exemplary, and we are grateful for your support of higher education, especially Utah Valley University, and your willingness to make this celebration even more meaningful for our graduates. Everyone, please show your appreciation once again for Gail Miller. Thank you. If you haven't read Gail Miller's biography, please buy it and make it required reading. Drew Halfaker, president of the UVU Alumni Association Board and a UVU trustee, now joins us with a reminder that as each of you, our graduates, leave campus, you remain a Wolverine and part of Utah Valley University. There's always a place for you at UVU. Ladies and gentlemen, Drew Halfaker.
Good evening and congratulations, class of 2020. At the end of your senior year, you were asked to nominate and vote on the faculty members who had influenced your life and education at UVU in profound ways. Tonight, we would like to recognize the 8 individuals you honored as Outstanding Educators of the Year. From the School of the Arts, Assistant Professor Gareth Fry. From the Woodbury School of Business, Professional in Residence Patrick Milligan. From the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, Assistant Professor Maria Blevins. From the School of Education, Associate Professor Mike Patch. From the College of Science, Assistant Professor Tyler Standiford. From the College of Engineering and Technology, Associate Professor Michael F. Harper. From the College of Health and Public Service, Associate Professor Sue Smith Jackson. And from University College, Professional in Residence Tiffany Yost. Please join me in congratulating these exceptional educators. Every year at commencement, we issue a charge to our graduates. It's an official rite of passage. This year, circumstances may not allow you to stand as you take this pledge, but we invite you to participate by shouting it out and honking your horns as you respond. Graduates, it's now my pleasure to officially welcome you as the newest members of the Utah Valley University Alumni Association. Please stand if you are safely able to do so. Wherefore, as your duly appointed president of the Utah Valley University Alumni Association, I charge you, the graduating class of 2020, to uphold the values celebrated in the mission of this institution from which you have received your higher education. Therefore, I charge you to go forth from this ceremony as people who live and exemplify the core values of exceptional care, exceptional accountability, and exceptional results. I invite you to signify your willingness to uphold these values by each announcing "I will" to our assembly in response to the following question. Graduates, will you accept the responsibility to live and exemplify UVU's core values?
I will.
Therefore, on this 19th day of August 2020, I invoke my authority as president of the Utah Valley University Alumni Association and officially declare that, having received your degrees through the proper authority of this institution, you will join with those who have preceded you. Together with hundreds of thousands of others, you will always be Wolverines. Thank you.
Thank you for all the honking, and thank you, Drew. Graduates, I officially welcome all of you to the ranks of UVU alumni. You join the ranks of hundreds of thousands of others who have also rejoiced in this milestone. Let me take now a few moments to give a message to you. Class of 2020, you have made history by persisting and graduating in the time of a pandemic. Future historians will record the very unusual circumstances of your success. This evening, I'd like to share 3 words for you to think about: celebrate, innovate, and contemplate. Celebrate. You have not only finished your degrees, but you have shown resilience and an open mind to new habits and new ways of learning in the midst of COVID-19. Together with professors, staff, friends, and families, you've been able to adapt and thrive. You have used technology to stay connected, create, and produce. You have learned to ask for help when needed. Pause now. Take a deep breath and savor this moment. The ability to see what is positive in your life, to know your own strengths, to laugh, to dance, jump in the air, to know how to celebrate. This is the hallmark of a Wolverine. This is an ability you'll need for the rest of your life. Innovate. You are making your way in a world full of tension and contradiction. Some of us have massive computing power in our hands, but 3.7 billion people in the world do not have access to the internet. We produce more food than ever before, but malnutrition is the main cause of disease and death globally. Social media connects us to hundreds and thousands of friends, but loneliness is an epidemic. In the United States, we've had the Civil Rights Act since 1964, but we know that nearly 50 years later, we are still struggling with Martin Luther King's dream when he said, "I look to a day when people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." As you pursue your professions and raise families, innovate, think differently, critically, and creatively. How can you make the world a better place? How can you blend service and compassion with competition and a free market? How can you make yourselves free while also maximizing the freedom of others? How can you help correct age-old racial and other injustices? These are hard questions. Use your learning and experiences at UVU to help you think through these problems and tackle them in new and effective ways. Finally, contemplate. What is your purpose? I know that Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, Google, and the internet as a whole provides you with unlimited information and endless entertainment. But they can also whittle all your time and energy to nothing. You have to contemplate your purpose. When I was 19 years old and a student here in Utah, I wrote on a 3x5 card 3 things that would be important in my life: to be happy, to be useful, and to be charitable. I'm glad that I wrote these things down. Through good times and bad, through doubt and faith, through poverty and prosperity, through sadness and joy, that 3x5 card has anchored me to a solid foundation. I've been able to make good choices and understand trade-offs and sacrifices. My life is highly imperfect, but having a purpose has given me motivation, helped me to tune out noise, and allowed me to recover from adversity. Dear Wolverines, I will be thinking of you as you make your way in the world. Let me share a story to send you on your way. As a child, living in a hut on stilts in the sea, I was terrified of typhoons. Every year we would get 1 or 2. My hut would shake on its bamboo moorings, and the rain would lash through our flimsy grass roof. Many a time, I thought I wouldn't make it, even through the night. But I was surprised to wake up the next day to find sun and calm. I learned powerfully that I couldn't stop the storms, but I could survive them. They didn't last forever. The Buddhist nun, Pema Chodron, said, "To be fully alive, fully human, and completely awake is to be continually thrown out of the nest. To live fully is to be always in no man's land, to experience each moment as completely new and fresh. To live is to be willing to die over and over again." Wolverines, storms will throw you out of your nest and your comfort zone. Be courageous. Never give up. Keep learning. Remember that you are gritty Wolverines. All of us here at UVU love you, and we are proud of you. We believe in your great potential, and we wish you success in all your future endeavors. Congratulations and Godspeed. And now, it is time for the main and highest purpose of tonight's proceedings, the presentation of student candidates for degrees, starting with master's degree graduates, then undergraduates. Wayne Vaught, Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, will now join me as we present the candidates for graduation. Honk as loud as you can. Come on.
Very good. What a wonderful, wonderful night this has been. Let me ask you quickly before I begin, who wants to graduate tonight? Well, fantastic. Now, we've reached this magical moment in our ceremony where we're going to convert many, many years of hard work, dedication, and late-night study sessions into college degrees. But before we begin, I need to ask you or tell you that all that's standing between you and graduation is your ability to follow just a few simple instructions. Now, first, what I would like you to do is to close your eyes and think for a moment. What degree have I been working on for the past 4 or 5 or 6 or so years? And then, when I call your degree, I would like you, if you can, to please stand and remain standing. I invite the candidates for the Master of Business Administration, the Master of Public Service, and the Master of Science in Nursing degrees to please rise if you may safely do so. And candidates, please remain standing as you are joined by our undergraduates. Would the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts, the Bachelor of Fine Arts, the Bachelor of Music, and the Bachelor of Science, the Bachelor of Social Work, would you please rise if you may safely do so? And candidates for the Associate in Applied Science, the Associate in Arts, the Associate in Pre-Engineering, the Associate in Science, the Associate in Science in Business, and the Associate of Science in Nursing, would you also please rise? And now, would all other candidates for diplomas, certificates of proficiency, and certificates of completion please stand if you may safely do so? President Tuminez, on behalf of the faculty, I present the candidates for the master's, bachelor's, and associate degrees, diplomas, and certificates. These candidates have completed all their requirements for their respective degrees and diplomas and certificates. And the faculty have approved their candidacy pursuant to the final completion of all of their requirements. President, I now recommend that the appropriate master's, bachelor's, and associate degrees and diplomas and certificates be awarded them.
I did not hear Masters of Education, so Masters of Education, you are included in the graduation. Candidates, you have fulfilled all the requirements for the appropriate master's, bachelor's, and associate's degrees, diplomas, and certificates, and have been recommended by the faculty for graduation. By virtue of the authority vested in me as president of Utah Valley University, and by the people of Utah, through the representatives in the legislature and on the Utah Board of Higher Education, and on the recommendation of the faculty of Utah Valley University and its Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the appropriate degree, diploma, or certificate which entitles you to all the rights, privileges, and honors hereto pertaining. You may now move your tassels from right, let's do this together, from right to the left side of your mortarboard to indicate your graduation from Utah Valley University. Woo, woo! Please accept our heartfelt congratulations to you and your families. We would like to thank all of the dedicated staff and faculty who have worked so diligently to create this meaningful celebration this evening. Special thanks to the National Parks for their pre-commencement entertainment, and I would especially like to thank all of you for being with us, our honorees, and everybody who participated. Please join me one more time in recognizing the remarkable class of 2020. All right, now you've got to look up. Class of 2020, all the people here who love you would like to send you off, quite literally, with a bang.